What's up guys, Dino here, welcome to my racing channel. Welcome to any newcomers on the channel, welcome. Well, today we're going to be looking at, as I spoke to you the other day, about a race that's going to be running at Wolverhampton tomorrow. So we'll get right into it. Let's have a wee look. So here we are, here's the racing for tomorrow. Wolverhampton, it's the 6:45, which is the best race on the card, which is a class 2, which we'll hopefully see in a minute. Computer's a bit slow. There we go. So I had a look at this yesterday and I had a look at it today again. Now, first and foremost, am I going to be putting money on this? Probably not. And I'm going to tell you why. This is an extremely hard race because even though there's only 8 runners, there's probably 4 or 5 going by form that could have a chance of winning this. A lot of people may just look at this top one here because it's 5 to 6 on. Good trainer, excellent jockey. Then they may look at the next one, 72. Then it goes a little bit further out, 5 to 1. And then it goes further and further, obviously the further you go down. But I've looked at, I looked at all the horses, and believe it or not, I've narrowed it down to 4. It would be easy enough to pick Mutasadia, sorry. Should that probably win it? Yeah, it probably should win it if you look at its form. But Kelly's Dino has got a good chance of winning it. Fearsome has got a chance of winning it. Primero has got a chance of winning it. Amazing Red has got a chance of winning it. Lexington Law has got a chance of winning it. The only 2 that I would probably rule out is the bottom 2. I've looked at their form and, to be quite honest, in my opinion, they're a little bit out of their depth. So, let's look at it. 1 mile 4 on a class 2, and it's a 0 to 105, and it's for 4-year-olds and upwards. So we'll look at the favourite first, which they're saying is Mutasadia. It's not had a race this season, but when you look at its form from last season, its first race that it came out, it won it. So you would like to think that Hugo Palmer will have this horse fit for this race, and I would expect it to go from a class 2 possibly to a class 1, maybe even a listed race after this race, if he has got this horse fit enough. So we'll have a look. So here we are. Now, the first thing I noticed with this horse is its sire is Galileo, and there's a lot of horses that have come from Galileo that are exceptional horses. Dan Silly as well, the sire. Really good pedigree here of the horse. So we look at his form. Now this is over 1 mile 4 furlongs, and its last 2 races have only been over 1 mile 2.5 and 1 mile 3, to which he's both won. Now its overall rating tomorrow is 105. Its last race it was 97, so it's went up £8 and it's also going to be carrying 9 stone 9. It would be a little worry for me, just a little worry, because of the weight that it's carrying, but it's what it's going to be running up against. So yeah, it won this race here, a Group 3 at Dundalk, of September 2018. So that was a pretty good race. Group 3, can't knock it, it's a good race. But it's now, instead of having 9 stone 3, it's got 9 stone 9, which is obviously £6 more, and its overall rating is now 105. Now granted, it's dropping down to a class 2, which really does surprise me, because if it's went to a Group 3 there, then dropping down to a class 2, and again it's maybe just to get the horse a run because it's its first run. So has it got a chance? Absolutely. That's got an exceptional chance, even though it's going to be carrying 9 stone 9. So yep, I would certainly give Mutasadir, and it should it be 5 to 6? Probably not, but hey ho, that's what it is. We then have Kelly's Dino, remembering this is a class 2, and it's over 1 mile 4 furlongs. And here is Kelly's Dino's form, class 2. Again, it's not had a run this season, so this is its first run. And if you notice all of these, it's not, the surface would worry me a little with this one, even though it has ran at Wolverhampton, but that was in a class 4. It's running in a class 2 now. You're talking about, you know, a year later, and it's its first run. So again, is it going to be fit? It's a question mark there. Is Mutasadir going to be fit? Question mark. But its last race before it finished up last year was at York, which was on the turf in a class 2, and it finished third, being beaten 4.5 lengths by a good horse called Titus. So I think if we look, yeah, it's 96. Its overall rating, Kelly's Dino, is 96. So from that race last year, it's only went up £1. So has that got a chance? Yeah, it's got a chance, absolutely. Fearsome. We'll look at Fearsome. His overall rating is 91, and he's got a weight of 8 stone 10. Now he has ran over 1 mile 4, which is a good sign. He has ran at Lingfield, which is a good sign, and he has won at Lingfield, which is a good sign. The trouble is, he's going to be running against slightly better horses than what he's been running against. He does have that weight difference, which is in his favour. He has won at Lingfield, which is in his favour, and he has won over 1 mile 4 furlongs, which is in his favour. So has Fearsome got a chance? Yes, Fearsome's got a chance. Primero. After this, I've only got one other horse. One other horse that I'm going to check. So Primero, we look at Primero. And Primero, if we look here, is out of King Mambo. Dam Sire, very good horse. Cape Cross, very good horse. Then we look at Primero's form. Now, again, this is something for you to look at. If you look at its last race, Primero is now going to be carrying 8 stone 6, and its overall rating is 101. So its last race, it was 9 stone 13 at 101, which was in a class 2 over 2 miles. So that tells me right away carrying too much weight, and it obviously didn't last 2 miles. So they've dropped it back to 1 mile 4. So if you look at the race before, Class 2, Lingfield, 1 mile 4, 9 stone 7. Yes, it was second, only got beat by a neck. So what you need to look at here is, the jockey on it tomorrow is Adam Kirby. The Kirby was on it this time, got beat by a neck. And if you go down, and you'll see last season, Kirby was on it again and was second and got beat by 3 1/4 lengths at Lingfield in a Class 2 over 1 mile 4 furlongs. So now that it's carrying less weight, has Primero got a chance? Yeah, it's got a chance. Of course it has. So these 4 have all got chances. The last one I'm going to look at is this one, Lexington Law, which is shown at 12 to 1. And if you look at Lexington Law and its form, again, Galileo. Anything that comes out in Galileo has to be a decent horse. Now if you look at it, 1 mile 4, Class 2, it was 6th of 6, beating 11.5 lengths. So if you look at the weight, it's 9 stone 8, overall rating of 93. It's dropped a pound, and it's not 9 stone 8, it's an 8 stone 11, which is a huge drop. And that was a Class 2, and it's running in a Class 2 tomorrow. Same jockeys on it. If you look at the race before, Lingfield Class 3, 1 mile 2, 9 stone 6, was third, beating 6 3/4 lengths. So I think they're still looking to see where this horse really is. So that was its first 2 runs this season. So one thing's for sure is, it's going to be fit. It's not going to be carrying a heavy weight. It's only going to be carrying 8 stone 11. So what you are all wondering is, just get me back on the TV again. So what you're wondering is, what am I going to choose? I'm not going to have a bet on it, because it's a difficult race. But the 2 horses I'm going to pick out to look at here is obviously Mutasadia, for quite a few reasons. It is a good horse. Yes, it's carrying 9 stone 9. It has got an overall rating of 105, but it's got a cracking jockey on it and a very, very good trainer, and that will go into better class races, like a Class 1, like a listed, possibly even a Group 3. You then have to look at, are the rest of these horses listed runners, Group 3 runners? I would probably say not. I think the highest the most of them would get would probably be a Class 1, but I do think Mutasadia could go to your listed race and possibly a Group 3. But the one I'm really interested in, I think this will win it. I think Mutasadia will win it. But the one I'm going to be looking at is this one. Lexington Law has came up against some good horses in its time. To drop down to 8 stone 11, I think this, in my opinion, I don't think this is going to be far away. Lexington Law. I know it's 12 to 1, so the bookies, and more times than not, ladies and gents, the bookies are normally right. Not all the time, but I just think something's just telling me, with its form, as much as its first 2 races, it's been beaten quite a few lengths. This will be fit. Alan King is actually a jumps trainer, and he does have the odd horse on the flat. David Probert's a good jockey. So, yeah, I do think Mutasadir will probably win it. But I would keep an eye on Lexington Law. Just to see how it runs, because it's ran up against better horses than what it's ran up against today. Absolutely. So I think this one won't be far away. Lexington Law, to me, won't be far away. And the other thing to point out here as well, it's got an overall rating of 92 to 105. That's almost that's huge. Huge. But it's whether it can run up to that standard of Mutasadir. So, I'll say it again, Mutasadir I think will win it. But I don't think Lexington Law will be far away. I think he will be there or thereabouts. So I'm not going to have a bet on it. It's just too much of a tricky race for me. Kelly's Dino's got a chance, Fearsome and Primero. So, yeah. Mutasadir for me, but Lexington Law, keep an eye on, because I don't think that will be far away. Alright. Again, there'll be more videos. The handicap videos will be coming up soon. Keep pressing the subscribe button. Keep looking at the videos. Keep pressing the bell. All good info. You know I take my time and love doing this, ladies and gents. So keep viewing. It helps a lot. It's going to take time to build the channel, but I'm not going anywhere. Alright, so you all take care, and I will speak to you soon.